Are you considering relocating to the Midlands of South Carolina, Columbia, Lexington, or Lake Murray? Well, if you are, there's some things you should probably know about our area. Just simply things that make the Midlands unique and different than other areas. This is the 3 things you should know before moving to Columbia, South Carolina. And stick around to the end for some bonus facts you may not have known, including Columbia's way of trying to prevent mosquitoes. Now, diving into the things that make the Midlands of South Carolina unique. 1, it's a very diverse area. When it comes to the Midlands of South Carolina, we have a very diverse area when it comes to what we have to offer, from the lay of the land to entertainment, festivals, and so much more. Just talking about housing alone, whether you're looking to live that city life in downtown Columbia, close to the college, the tall office buildings, we have that. And I always let people know, even with that said, it's not as much of a hustle and bustle downtown as many other big cities I've been to. I've had clients ask if it's always this quiet downtown. And second, while you will often see college kids rushing back and forth between classes and student housing on downtown Main Street, there are plenty of places around downtown where you will forget it's a college town, especially in the Main Street district with upscale restaurants like Hall's Chop House, Bourbon, Smoked, Cowboy, and so many more. Now, if you want that college scene, head over to 5 Points, where you will find a college themed bar on every corner and hangouts, steps from student housing. Now, maybe you're looking to live in the suburbs with those quaint downtowns and small town feels and festivals. We have that in Lexington, Chapin, and more. Or maybe you're looking for those older established neighborhoods, those homes with character, tree-lined streets. Look no further than an Irmo, Shandon, Forest Acres, and so many more. Or maybe you're looking for a master plan community filled with amenities and all the excitement that comes with that. Check out Saluda River Club in Lexington, Wood Creek Farms in Elgin, Cobblestone Park in Blythewood, Lake Carolina in Northeast Columbia with its own downtown right in the neighborhood, and many more. Or maybe you're looking to live in one of our many lake neighborhoods, or even live right on one of the lakes. We're able to walk out in your backyard, down to your dock, hop on your boat, and head out boating. We have that. Whether it's on the 50,000 acre Lake Murray, or the smaller private Lake Carolina, or venture further out into the country on Lake Watery. Or maybe you are looking for that more rural setting out in the country. Homes on acreage, farmland, more space to roam, and miles of open land, except for maybe a Dollar General. We have that in areas like Gilbert, Elgin, parts of Lugoff, Camden, Batesburg, Leesville, Prosperity, and so many more. We have so many different growing suburbs, whether you're looking at Forest Acres, Blythewood, West Columbia, Lexington, Chapin, Irmo, or so many more. We truly have options no matter what style of living you're looking for. What's up, beautiful people? This is Brandon, and I post videos like this every week. So if it's your first time to the channel and you want to learn everything about living in the Midlands of South Carolina, be sure to tap that subscribe button. That way you're notified every time we post a new video. Now, my team and I have been guiding people from all over the country buy and sell homes here in the Midlands and the surrounding areas. And we look forward to connecting with you. So give us a call or request a chat on our site so you don't have to go at it alone. As well as mentioned, having a downtown brings so many options for entertainment with venues like the Colonial Life Arena, where we've seen artists such as Elton John, Jimmy Buffett, rest in peace, Morgan Wallen, Pitbull, and so many more come right here to Columbia. As well as smaller venues like the Township Auditorium, where we see comedians like Matt Rife, Shane Gillis, Kevin Hart, and even Blippi have come. Or maybe you're looking for something a little more low-key. The Koger Center for Arts, where you can find plays, musicals, and so much more. Downtown, you'll also find a convention center and the fairgrounds, where a ton of conventions come to town. Whether you're looking for the boating expo, home and garden expos, hunting, you name it. And as a bonus, Columbia is actually home to one of the only handful of dedicated puppet theaters in the nation, the Columbia Marionette Theater. So for those that like puppet shows, we have that too. And of course, as mentioned, being home to the University of South Carolina, you'll find Williams-Brice Stadium, home to the University of South Carolina Gamecocks football team. And trust me, if you haven't been to an SEC football game, it's definitely a sight to be seen. While we haven't taken home the national title, every year brings new excitement in hopes that this year will be the year. It's a rebuilding year, right? Outside of the entertainment venues, there is such diversity when it comes to the festivals we see in the area. Every month you'll find a different festival depending on what piques your interest. You have the Soda City Market that comes every single weekend right in downtown Columbia, where local vendors come out, share their products, goods, and food, and it's always a great time. You have the Greek Festival that comes to Columbia every year, the Gilbert Peach Festival, the South Carolina State Fair that comes every single year in October, the Irmo Ochre Strut, the Artista Vista Art Gallery in the Vista, St. Patrick's and Five Points, Rosewood Crawfish Festival, Lexington Wine Walk, Dining on the Dam, Columbia Shrimp and Grits Festival, 5Ks, and so much more. Make sure to check out experiencecolumbiasc.com for what events are happening when you come to visit the area. And lastly, Columbia is home to Fort Jackson, the U.S. Army's main production center for basic combat training. They train roughly 50% of all soldiers and more than 60% of women entering the U.S. Army each year. And just outside of the Columbia area, you'll find McIntyre Joint National Guard Base and Shaw Air Force Base. Add on the Dorn VA Hospital right here in downtown Columbia, and we have a ton of active duty and retired military that call the Midlands of South Carolina home. The second thing that makes the Midlands of South Carolina unique is our outdoor recreation. For my outdoors people, there's so much outdoor recreation in the area, from the lakes to the rivers, the state parks, biking trails, walking trails, and so much more. As well, just outside the city is the Congaree National Park. Not only is it a great place to go on walk, hikes, or you can even go camping, but interesting enough is home to the synchronous fireflies. Fireflies that light up all at the same time. They're actually only found in half a dozen places in the entire world, and we have them right here in the outskirts of Columbia. Not only that, but they also have the tallest trees east of the Mississippi, champion trees, the largest of their species, and you can find more than 24 right there at the Congaree National Park. As well in Columbia, out near Irmo, you'll find the Harbison State Forest. Out in the Harbison State Forest, you'll find plenty of walking trails and hiking trails, many that actually lead down to the Broad River where you can have canoe access. As well, here in Columbia, you have the Sesquicentennial State Park. Out there, you're gonna have bike trails, walking trails, running trails, and even a lake right there in the middle of the state park. As well, right here in Columbia, we have the Riverbanks Zoo and Garden. It's an amazing zoo that uniquely has a permanent koala exhibit, which is one of the fewer than half a dozen zoos in the US. You'll also find the botanical gardens where you can take a walk through exotic plants or let the kids run and play on the splash pad. As well, they have a ton of events throughout the year at the zoo. You're talking about Boo at the zoo, Christmas lights at the zoo, and one year they hosted a movie right there in the gardens. Diving further into the lakes, if you haven't heard about our local lake, specifically Lake Murray, it's a 50,000 acre play place, and it's the heart of the area. I made an entire video about Lake Murray, whether you're just looking to learn a little bit more about it or considering one of the many lake neighborhoods right on the lake. Make sure to check out that video. But it's made up of 4 different counties and has so much to offer. You're talking about boating, fishing, dining, and so much more. There are plenty of public access to the lake, whether you're looking to take your boat out or just wade in the water or head out fishing. As well, there are plenty of places to rent boats if you don't own one yourself. As well, enjoy one of the many restaurants that sit on the lake, places like Liberty on the Lake, with sunsets overlooking the water. And then lastly, the Dam Walk. There's a 1.5 mile walk that has unmatched views of the lake and is a great spot to catch the sunset. And don't miss out every year when they do Dining on the Dam, where they shut the dam down, fill it with tables, and local restaurants come in to serve those as they get to watch sunsets over the dam. And then lastly, as I mentioned, the rivers. From the Saluda River to the Congaree River, there's so many places to enjoy. Whether you're looking at tubing down the river, kayaking, fishing, or just taking a walk or a bike ride down the river, there's tons of options to take advantage of, including the Three Rivers Greenway, a path that spreads for miles for avid bikers and runners that want to enjoy views of the river while they take a run or a bike ride. This is just a drop in the bucket of all the things that you can find here in the Midlands of South Carolina. There's so many things to experience and enjoy here that it's hard to tackle all in one video. But it just goes to show that Columbia is a diverse area when it comes to not only your options with housing, but things to do in the area. And lastly, before we dive into the bonuses, one of the big things that make the Midlands of South Carolina unique is the growing economy. Columbia has a growing economy. Over the recent years, we've seen a lot of growth when it comes to our economy and jobs in the area. Historically though, we have the Michelin plant, US Foods, Amazon, Prisma Health, Lexington Medical, the recent MUSC expansion into the Midlands, the state, school districts, and so many more job opportunities. But recently, we've seen more and more businesses choosing the Midlands of South Carolina for their home. The growing Bull Street districts, where we see companies coming in regularly. FedEx recently found home right here in Lexington with their brand new distribution center. Mark Anthony Brewing, the 4th largest brewer in the US, created a new facility here in Columbia to help increase production of White Claw and Mike's Hard Lemonade. Service Solutions, an electrical vehicle battery materials facility, is opening up operations here as well. And last, the biggest announcement of Scout Motors coming right here to the Midlands of South Carolina. Not only with their plant in Blythewood, but also the announcement of corporate office right there in the Bull Street district. They have said this will bring thousands of jobs to our area and will help the continued growing economy. I've already spoken with multiple people relocating after accepting jobs with Scouts. This all helps the support and growth that we have been seeing with more and more industries and jobs to our local economy. And of course, as I said, with Fort Jackson right here in the area, creates plenty of opportunities for those in the military. And as promised, a bonus. A few fun facts that you may not know about the Midlands of South Carolina. And the last one may make you laugh. What was once coined as Columbia's way of trying to prevent mosquitoes. First off, Columbia is the first city in the US named after Christopher Columbus. The name of Columbia was chosen over other popular options such as Washington. Now, Columbia was founded in 1786, but as you drive around, you may notice you don't see many 18th or 19th century buildings here. Well, that's because 2/3 of Columbia was burned down during the Civil War when General William T. Sherman burned the city in 1865. Another interesting fact, the first textile mill run completely on electricity in the entire world opened up in Columbia in 1894. You can actually still find this building. It is home of the South Carolina State Museum in downtown Columbia. And lastly, if you've ever driven down Assembly Street in downtown Columbia, it's a rather wide street, especially learning that it was designed in the 18th century, when back then many roads were very narrow. And so many people ask, why was this done? And the local rumor is that city planners hope that it was too wide for mosquitoes to cross the road.